Have you ever wondered what it takes to plan an RV trip, especially when you're going to be on the road for 4 months or 5 months at a time?
We're getting excited because in a couple of weeks, we'll be doing our annual summer trip, and we have a bunch of friends asking us, how do you guys plan this? How do you set it up? We thought some tips of how we manage and schedule our route could be helpful for you.
And the cost. People ask us about the cost too. So stay tuned. We'll jump into all of that. In the meantime, I'm Paul.
I'm James.
And of course, this is
Chompers. Kind of the first thing you determine is how long you're going to be gone and how long do you want to be gone. And it's really important, especially if you're traveling over the holiday weekends. It's very tough getting into campgrounds, any kind of campground, LGBT or state parks or whatever, over a holiday weekend. So if you have an absolute goal, you kind of got to start with those 3-day weekend holidays for sure.
We always look at the calendar and pick out, especially for us in summer, where we're going to be at on Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day, because those are always the hardest ones to get into a campground.
And again, we're gone for 3 or 4 months, so it's a lot of sequencing. But even if you're gone for just a holiday week or two, do plan in advance. We start about 6 months in advance to give you any idea.
Yep, we start probably for our summer trip. We start in January, and we determine just a basic route where we want to go, and then we just determine where are we going to be on those holidays. And we start booking those holidays right away, and as soon as we can, sometimes in December, sometimes in January.
We're kind of excited because Paul just put together a new website, and it's very organized. It shows all the trips we've taken every summer for the last 6 years. And it shows all the camps we've ever stayed at. LGBT camps, Q camps are with a rainbow flag. You can click on that and see the camp. You can see the review, our comments, but you also get to see our routes as we've taken. It might be helpful to see, how we kind of traverse around the country.
I've also broken it down into state parks, national parks, and boondocking sites, because we do a lot of boondocking. So that kind of goes into how we plan our route. Once we've got kind of our holidays and general route, then we kind of fill in the blanks on where we want to go in between those places. And as we said, we do a lot of boondocking, especially in the West. And what we've had to determine is how long can we boondock without needing to dump our tanks and refill water. Now, we did put solar, and I have a little thing on our website about the solar system we put on there that helps us boondock. But we've determined, about 4 days we can go?
3 or 4 days.
And then we will need to find a dump station and refill. So
now maybe the next camp you're going to has full hookups, or at least a dump service.
Yeah.
Then you can refresh your rig before you arrive and then after you depart. But it's just something to think about when you're boondocking and planning a trip. When is my next stop? Now the other option is like Flying J's, for example. Pilots, a lot of them along the routes, especially along the interstates, they might have water hookups and dump sites for you to use. So that's kind of the planning if you're planning on doing some boondocking, off-roading, alternative stuff.
So we'll even mark on the calendar, where we're boondocking, and know that we're only boondocking for a certain number of days before we need to hit something that we can refill our tank.
It kind of leads into things also like laundry. When do you do laundry? How often? We generally do laundry like once a week, but we have a swap out of towels and sheets that we could go 2 weeks without laundry. Now, some Army Corps of Engineer places have coin-operated laundry. The LGBTQ campgrounds have laundry. Certainly commercial KOAs and those types have laundry. So that's something that we sort of take into consideration. It really doesn't drive our routing because it just seems we always seem to manage.
We always seem to manage,
but, it's something to think about, especially if you're traveling with a bunch of kids and you do expect to have a lot of, dirty laundry and stuff to deal with.
Another thing when planning the trip is we try not to drive more than 4 hours a day.
Sure.
Our first summer, and this is again going to be our 7th summer, our first summer, we did some pretty long stretches of driving, and you arrive at a campsite tired, you still got to set up. Let's just say no good could happen from that.
And when you look on a map and it says 4 hours, you're also just stopping to get fuel. You're probably stopping at a grocery store. You're stopping to have your own lunch. So a 4-hour drive turns into 5.5 probably. So, sometimes you got to do those long stretches. We always joke about the panhandle of Texas or Oklahoma, some of those center states.
Sometimes you just got to
Maybe you're not going that far east-west, but sometimes you do have to just put some miles under your belt and just buckle under and just do it.
Exactly. We use a couple of different resources for scheduling or finding campsites too. Probably our number one go-to is Campendium. We also use Road Trippers. We're a member of Harvest Host. And then they usually will direct you to sites for reservations like recreation.gov, or Reserve, California.
Oh, and there are also, there's an app, what's it called? RV Dumpy?
Oh yeah, RV Dumpy
And
or RV Dumps.
Dumps, something like that, that you can, look up nearby. Some commercial campgrounds will allow you to come in and dump just for 10, 15 bucks, even if you're not staying there, for example. So that's kind of a nice resource.
Yeah, most KOAs, I think most KOAs let you dump and refill for, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks, which if, you need to do it, you need to do it.
Some of the stuff, like Paul was saying, how we've upgraded our RV, or even down to like chairs and tablecloths and things that we've learned over the years work really well. Like, for example, we have a vinyl tablecloth now. It doesn't fade. It's very durable. It doesn't fly in the wind. Some of these things, we have an Amazon store link on our website too, and under the shop category. If you want to see some of the things, like an ice cube tray that doesn't spill, you can even lay it at it, for example. I mean, some of these little things we've learned.
Simple little things.
Rechargeable lights for the tables outside, the USB, so you're not buying batteries. That's really useful.
I put a whole list there. We also have a couple of other links to other things that we found really useful. The cover for the windshield of our van, the lithium batteries we use. I put it all in an area called RV Accessories on the website, so check that out. And they're all things that we found over time have worked. Like, camping chairs. How many camping chairs did we go through until we found these ones that we really like? Yeah. So I try to put that all in one area to help you guys to see what we figured out works. And as James says, we try to avoid batteries. Everything's rechargeable. So
and today you can do that.
Yeah, and that's another
So
good
something
thing.
a little bit fun too.
Yeah.
If you're in our shopping area, we have some merchandise like t-shirts, tote bags, sweatshirts, and we've got some fun logos and sayings and things that we've created. So if you want to check that out, maybe we'll see you wearing one of our t-shirts.
Yeah, they're just fun things we do in the winter before we're camping.
So another thing people ask us about, what about costs? What does this cost to RV?
This
is generally don't know.
This is a big thing. And so let's talk about the major expenses. First, of course, since we go coast to coast, is fuel. Second is the actual campgrounds themselves. And then, of course, food. But food,
it's going to be what it is.
It's going to be what it is, whether you're home or not. I don't think we even go out to eat at all during the summer.
We don't dine out much at all.
We cook all of our meals in the rig. So our grocery expenses, we eat pretty good and we hit a lot of farmers markets, a lot more basic food, but still
fresh food.
Fresh food, yeah. Very, very fresh food.
Now, if you're towing a trailer and you've got a pickup, or if you're towing a car behind your rig, you've got some freedoms. We just don't camp that way. Yeah. So it's just a lifestyle choice, really.
So let's talk about fuel costs. Luckily, we have a diesel RV. We don't pull anything. And last year, I went through all our stats. We averaged about 14.2 miles per gallon, which, isn't great for a car, but isn't too bad for an RV. So we're pretty happy with that. Last year, we did, what was that? 8,300 miles, averaging 14.2. We spent a little over $5,000 over the course of 3.5 months on fuel costs.
And you're going to see fuel costs change from state to state. Of course, diesel and gas is going to be different. One thing that we do try to avoid for a couple of reasons is interstates, because we can drive more at 65, which is our better mileage. But when you go down two-lane highways, you see so much more, and there's more roadside oddities and more farmers markets and more fun. Sometimes you got to get on the interstate and just cruise along with the truckers, but nice reasons if you've got the time to stay off those interstates. Yeah,
and I think we figured out driving about 65 miles an hour in the rig, we get the best mileage. So that's also another reason to get off the highway. Finally, the last cost is campsites, and how much do campsites cost? Well, they're all over the board. We do a lot of boondocking, especially on Bureau of Land Management land in the West.
So that's free.
Yeah, that's free.
Cost averages nothing. Nicely.
We've also been to some very expensive RV parks, especially the one in Provincetown.
Yeah.
We've gone to a couple times, the one in Rhode Island.
Urban environments.
Yeah, urban environments tend to be more, they're full hookups, they're more like resorts.
Yeah.
And those can be this could be like up to $160, $150 a night. So that does get expensive.
But your state parks, your Army Corps of Engineers, they're 18, 23, 24, 30.
Yeah. Those are great. So we kind of balance it out. I looked last year, we had 105 nights on the road. And if you take in the high cost and the low cost, our average was about $61 a night. So kind of keep that in mind also when you're planning. And if we missed anything, just put something down in the comments, and we're happy.
Questions down, make a conversation. We'll get them going.
Exactly.
So this year, on our current calendar, check out where we'll be and when and maybe we'll cross paths with you at some campground. Come up and say hi.
Absolutely. In the meantime,
Hopefully this was helpful.
Yeah, as we like to always say, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. We'll be posting all of our travels again this summer. And take a look at our website and check out the places we've been and reviews and things that we recommend for your RV.
We leave in a couple weeks.
Yeah, so as always, thanks for watching.
See you on the road.
Travel on.